On this episode of Cape Media News, we go behind the scene with Cape Kid Meals in Bourne, learn about the family pantry of Cape Cod, and visit the Cordial Eye at their first ever Winter Fundraiser for the Arts. These stories and more, this is Cape Media News. This is Cape Media News, your local authentic newscast for Cape Cod. I'm Gabrielle Rawson. Thank you for joining us. The country continues to be divided this week over impeachment proceedings in Washington, D.C. The United States House of Representatives voted to impeach President Donald Trump on Wednesday, December 18, 2019, after approving 2 articles of impeachment that had been put forth alleging abuse of power and obstruction of Congress. The articles of impeachment were voted on separately and passed with majority votes. Impeachment is part of a 2-step process to remove the president from office and will need to also pass by a majority vote in the U.S. Senate in order for the president to be removed. Cape Media News will continue to follow the story. You can track the impeachment of President Donald Trump yourself at impeachment.guide. On Thursday, December 19th, Massachusetts state legislators and other key child care and education advocates announced a $1 million grant award from the state to the YMCA Cape Cod to help fund the development of a new child care program in Hyannis. The grant funding was made available through Governor Charlie Baker's Capital Investment Plan. To date, the Department of Early Education and Care and the Children's Investment Fund have awarded grants totaling $19 million to more than 24 agencies across the state. To learn more, visit mass.gov. Well, it's nearly Christmas, and 'tis the season to fight with your Christmas tree and those pesky strings of lights. If you're like me, you probably throw your unwanted and broken Christmas lights into the garbage can. But did you know you can now recycle them? The Barnstable County Regional Government of Cape Cod has announced a Holiday Lights recycling program. In partnership with AmeriCorps Cape Cod and the Cape Cod Cooperative Extension, you can now recycle any of your used, unwanted, or broken Christmas lights at any Cape transfer station. The Holiday Lights recycling program will be collecting lights now through January 2020. To learn more, visit barnstablecounty.org. According to Cape Kid Meals, 1 in every 6 school-aged child on Cape Cod experiences food insecurity. Although most schools offer free breakfast and lunch programs, weekends can mean having very little to eat until kids return to school on Monday. That's why Cape Kid Meals developed a food program that provides nutritious foods and snacks for over the weekend. We visited them at their packing center in Bourne, where they were busy packing weekend food bags for kids in need. Tamora Israel reports.
According to Cape Kid Meals, 1 in 6 children are food insecure across Cape Cod. That's why every Friday, Cape Kid Meals delivers food to elementary students. The program provides breakfast and lunch so that kids in need won't go hungry over the weekend.
Yes, during the summer, this may be a very affluent place to be for people, but during the school year, there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of kids who go home on the weekends to virtually no food. They probably receive free breakfast and lunch during the school day, but on weekends they don't. And as a retired educator, it's very important for me because I understand the needs. Kids who come hungry to school don't learn.
I think what's so important is that there are people on the Cape and beyond the Cape that don't realize the cost of living here on the Cape, and that food insufficiency among students, families, is a real issue on the Cape.
The Cape Kid Meals food program was formed in 2014 and serves more than 500 children across the Cape. The bags are packed with 2 breakfast items, 2 lunch items, milk, juice, 6 healthy snacks, and 1 piece of fruit. The program relies on volunteers to help pack the bags.
Our group has chosen not to pack just ourselves, but to invite groups from outside in our community to pack. So typically, every week there is a different group that comes in once a month, and it's a wonderful thing. We have church groups that come in, we have high school kids from here that come in and volunteer. We have, tonight we have a church group. Also, we have a young group of kids from a Montessori school in Sandwich, and they have been bringing in mittens. So they're going to add mittens to every one of the bags in Sandwich for this week, which is a wonderful thing.
We feed 108 students in the 4 elementary schools between Bourne and Sandwich. And this is our packing night. We pack every Wednesday, and we use volunteer groups who come in, and tonight you'll see some of those come in. And we pack 108 bags, then we store them in the tubs that you have behind you. And then on tomorrow morning after our Rotary Club meeting at 8 o'clock, I deliver the sandwich cases, and another one of our members, Max Smith, delivers the Bourne cases. We leave them at the schools. We have no knowledge who gets the bags. It's up to the social workers in the schools. And then we pick up the reusable tubs from last week and bring them back, and we start it all over the next week.
The entire program is confidential. Only the schools know who participate. For volunteers, it's a wonderful opportunity to give back.
It gives you, it gives you a real good feeling that you're helping kids that, of no fault of their own, are in need, and I think it's a wonderful cause. There is a need here, and for anybody who can help out, we're here every Wednesday night, and whatever you can do would be greatly appreciated.
For more information or to get involved, go to the Cape Kid Meals website at capekidmeals.org. And Bourne for Cape Media News, I'm Tamora Israel.
If you'd like to volunteer with or learn more about Cape Kid Meals, visit them online at capekidmeals.org. Up next, the Cordial Eye raises money for the arts at Cape Cod Beer.
We were selling our home after 30 years. Amazing how much stuff you can collect in your basement over time. So many things we wanted to keep, but even more we had to part with or throw away. As I was sorting through things, I came across an old glass jar of elemental mercury. I didn't even remember where or why I had it hanging around, but I knew I didn't want to throw it in the trash.
Elemental mercury, mercury-containing items, and other hazardous materials can accumulate when we don't know what to do with them or how to contain them safely. Elemental mercury is a silver liquid. It is many times stored in glass jars and old containers. Here are some simple do's and don'ts when it comes to elemental mercury. Never dump or dispose elemental mercury or items that contain mercury, like old thermometers, barometers, watch batteries, or CFL bulbs, into the trash. If you find elemental mercury in an old container, always call to have someone remove it for you. Do not try to transport elemental mercury to a hazmat collection facility yourself. Always ask if what you are throwing away might contain mercury or be hazardous. Go online or contact your city or town to find out what type of mercury collection program is available to get the right assistance with containment.
Our new living situation will change, but our love and concern for the environment will always be the same. It was easy to take a moment and do the right thing and make a difference.
Since August of 2019, the Cordial Eye Gallery and Artist Space has been dedicated to helping emerging artists by providing low to no cost art programs, open mic nights, exhibitions, and practice space. To support their mission of inclusivity and affordability, the Cordial Eye held their first ever Winter Hype Fundraiser last weekend at Cape Cod Beer in Hyannis. Emily Tulloch reports.
Hello and welcome to Cape Media News. I'm Emily Tulloch. The arts are an important part of the creative economy. From many local galleries, theaters, and dance studios, Cape Cod is full of many wonderful and talented artists. But sometimes, finding funding for artist spaces can be difficult, and that's when fundraising comes in handy. And tonight, we are at Cape Cod Beer, where the Cordial Eye is holding their first ever Winter Hype Fundraiser. Anna, can you tell us a little bit about what the Cordial Eye is?
Yeah, so the Cordial Eye Gallery and Artist Space is a contemporary art gallery. We're focused on showing emerging artists, contemporary art, basically any art that's outside of the traditional beach landscape that you see so much of. And we're really focused on arts programming. So we have an open mic night that meets twice a month, a book club, a knitting club, a writers forum, so that creative young people on the Cape can get together and work on their craft, share what they're doing, and really feel connected to our community here.
Absolutely. And so you guys are hosting your first ever fundraiser. So can you tell us a little bit about that and what the funds are going to go toward?
Yeah, so this fundraiser tonight's our Winter Hype Fundraiser. We're so excited to be working with Cape Cod Beer, Funktopus, and Gourmet Brunch. And we're looking to raise money for our upcoming exhibition season. We'd love to be able to open up an independent bookstore. We're trying to put together a internship program so that high schoolers and recent graduates, people at 4Cs, can get experience working in a gallery or museum setting.
Tonight, ain't no fussing, ain't no fighting, just get down. She don't know.
The Cordial Eye was founded to serve emerging artists in our community. How are you currently doing that?
Between our classes, which are very affordable, that's what we're providing to the community. We also have exhibits from different kind of artists who you wouldn't typically see in an art gallery. And we want to do things that some people might think weird, but we think really cool and fun. And I think the community needs it because different is good.
So can you tell us a little bit about why you hold your open mic nights?
Well, as a poet myself, I go to a lot of open mic nights. I always have on Cape, and a lot of them are in bars. So I'm a poet, so at times when I'm sharing my deep poetry, it's hard to do that at a loud bar. So we wanted to have a space that was a little more quiet, and a space where people who, if you don't drink, or if you just want some place to be open, even if you're not an artist, even if you have, some kind of talk coming up, come to the open mic night and read your talk, and we will give you constructive, loving feedback.
At the Cordial Eye, you are all about inclusion and financial accessibility. Can you tell us, is there a need for that on Cape Cod, and why?
Definitely. I know that for myself as an artist, many of the wonderful arts programs that we have at different galleries and cultural centers, I'm getting priced out of. And that's a tough place to be in, where a lot of us want to be able to participate and further our education. So we really try to keep our price points low, and we often offer our workshops on a sliding fee scale.
And what's next for the Cordial Eye after tonight?
Right now I'm working on curating an exhibit called What Does It Mean to Belong Here? Thinking about the expected Cape Cod aesthetic of, the Lily Pulitzer, the Nantucket Red, and there are so many of us who don't fit that necessarily. Or maybe we do. There's so many beautiful, wonderful things about the Cape as well.
And for more information, visit thecordialeye.org or follow them on Facebook and Instagram. In Hyannis, for Cape Media News, I'm Emily Tellick.
And the Cordial Eye's Winter Fundraiser raised more than $1,400, which they plan to use to subsidize their low-cost and free programs and events throughout the year. For more information, visit thecordialeye.org. Up next, learn about the Family Pantry of Cape Cod.
Have you noticed? Along Route 28, the seashore, and in villages, historic properties are disappearing. Many are being demolished at an increasingly rapid rate. With and without permission, they're being destroyed. And once lost, they're gone forever. My name is Ellen Briggs, founder and executive director of Protect Our Past, a newly formed not-for-profit organization which has been created to address this question and to examine the consequences of disappearing history. Let's take a look at some historic houses which have been lost. The Kenrick Sparrow House in Orleans, Aquasan Lodge in Chatham. Thankfully, some have been saved. And the Briggs Windmill in Chatham, one we saved. Let's wake people up to what is happening. Start a movement to say, stop, look and think twice before you decide you need a new home. You can live a cost-efficient modern lifestyle in an historic house, and it doesn't have to cost you an arm and a leg. Protected historic buildings do increase in value, so it pays to save. We need a full-length documentary to expose and examine these truths. Protect Our Past is raising money to have Thomas Benna, director of One Big Home, and his colleagues produce a telling film revealing the reality of disappearing history. We need your help. If you care, please contact me, Ellen, at protectourpast.org. Visit our website, protectourpast.org, or find us on social media. We welcome donations which are needed to pay for our documentary. Thank you in advance for caring about saving historic properties, which have always defined the heritage and character of Cape Cod, our home.
Welcome back to Cape Media News. I'm Gabrielle Rawson. For the last 30 years, the Family Pantry of Cape Cod has been distributing food, clothing, and support services to people in need across the Cape. Located at 133 Queen Anne Road in Harwich, the Family Pantry of Cape Cod is Cape Cod's largest food bank and serves more than 9,500 clients. To run an operation this big, the pantry relies on hundreds of volunteers. We visited them this week in Harwich to learn more. Cape Media News reports. It's hard to believe that a place as beautiful and prosperous as Cape Cod would have a hunger problem, but we do. According to a recent study by Feeding America, the meal gap in Massachusetts is huge. This is why food pantries are so vital to our community. Many food pantries on Cape Cod are town-specific, meaning clients must live in the town where the food bank is located. But the Cape Cod Family Pantry serves the entire Cape and is open to anyone in need.
So the Family Pantry of Cape Cod has been in existence now for 30 years. Our mission is really simple. We provide food and clothing for those in need. And we are fortunate enough to be able to serve the entire Cape, and we are the largest pantry on the Cape. We are also what's called a choice pantry, which means that our clients choose the food that they would like to receive versus someone pre-packaging it for them.
Through a partnership with the Greater Food Bank of Boston and local donors, the Family Pantry of Cape Cod offers a variety of healthy foods and fresh fruits and vegetables, many of which are grown locally.
The bulk of our food comes from our partnership with the Greater Boston Food Bank. We also partner with the USDA and MEFAP, which are the state and federal food programs that we get a lot of our fruits and vegetables from. And then, of course, the community donations come in, and we also have a garden that we have up on the hill that produces about 6,000 pounds a year. Then we have a couple other organizations on the Cape that help grow for us. Capabilities grows for us. The CBI Chatham Bars Inn garden, which is beautiful, grows for us. So, and then of course everybody brings us their zucchini all year. So that works out well.
And their support isn't limited to food. They also offer clothing and one-on-one case management for clients looking for housing and health care.
We consider ourselves a clearinghouse. So when our clients sign up, they get a whole package that says, here's all the different resources that you might find helpful across the Cape. We also provide, we have trained volunteers that can help you fill out a SNAP application or a fuel assistance application. Those are really difficult to do, especially if English is not your first language. We also have a partnership with the Homeless Prevention Council in Orleans, so they have one of their case managers here 2 days a week. So if you come in and you mention the fact that you're struggling with some kind of a housing issue, you can go right around the corner and get some help from one of their case managers, so that's very beneficial.
Although the pantry just completed 2 of its largest holiday programs, they are always accepting donations and looking for volunteers.
We are very, very fortunate. We have 650 plus volunteers that help make this world go round. If you're interested in volunteering, please visit us at the website. And also, if there's someone that you know, and there is somebody that you know that could benefit from the pantry, to please tell them. We do have a video on our website on the first page that shows what it's like to visit the pantry the first time. So it makes it really simple for people to understand what it's like to come here. It's bright, it's clean, it's well stocked, the people are nice. But there is always somebody that could use us, especially this time of year, and so we'd like to get that word out.
The Family Pantry of Cape Cod is located at 133 Queen Anne Road in Harwich and is open every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday.
If you're in need and you just need a little bit of help to get by, or you've had an emergency in the family, or whatever the case may be, you would come here. You would bring a photo ID for any adult that's on the account, and then you would also bring some kind of document for any children that would be on their account. So, for instance, their birth certificate or a mass health card. We will ask you for something with your current address on it. We don't care where you live, but we need to know what town you come from. And then basically, at that point, when you come in, we will ask you what your income is, but we will not ask you to prove your income.
To donate, sign up to volunteer, or get more information about the Family Pantry of Cape Cod, visit them online at thefamilypantry.com. In Harwich, for Cape Media News, I'm Gabrielle Rosson. If you would like to visit the pantry or want to sign up to volunteer or donate, visit thefamilypantryofcapecod.com. Well, that brings this week's episode of Cape Media News to a close. Please follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and now Instagram. And thank you so much for watching. We want to wish all of our viewers a beautiful and safe holiday season. We'll be back after the new year with a brand new episode. With Cape Media News, I'm Gabrielle Rosson.